What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. It's about 5 a.m. Sitting at this Walmart, finally getting unloaded after 2 days of sitting. And I've been, reading through the comments from the video yesterday and rewatching the video. And it's a hard decision, guys. And I've got, people commenting, do what you got to do, and people commenting, man, your paper hands, and all. And I'm seeing all these comments. And if there's one thing that I've learned in the 12 years I've been running a YouTube channel, it's that, man, you can't really trust the commenters on YouTube, all right? You got to just, I feel like I've got to just do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And I know, and the more I think about it, the more I think that having this channel has changed the way I'm approaching the stock market, guys. Real talk, I see some of these other channels, take Jack Spencer, for instance. I've been subscribed to Jack Spencer for a long time, and I've seen him, when he sold Workhorse, and people, left him and talked all this shit about him and all this stuff. I've seen this stuff happen a bunch of times, and I just cannot honestly say that that those watching that happen to other people did not affect my decision making when stocks started to go down in February. Hindsight's 2020, and I can't say for sure what I would have done if I wouldn't have been doing this on YouTube. And let me be clear, because somebody made the comment that it's not YouTube's fault. I'm not blaming YouTube. I'm just saying that psychologically, people who are on YouTube, that does have an effect on how they approach things. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's YouTube's fault. I'm saying it's my fault for allowing the fact that I have a YouTube channel to influence my decision-making process, okay? Now, look, I still have not made a final decision on what I'm going to do. But I will say that, this channel is about my learning process in the stock market. And I will say that a lesson that I feel like I have learned, regardless of whether I decide to hold all these stocks or liquidate some stuff and start doing some more swing trading, a lesson that I have learned throughout this is that I cannot allow my thoughts about what the subscribers might think to influence my decision making when it comes to my stock market accounts, okay? And I'm not going to do that going forward. If I feel like I should sell something, I'm going to sell it. If I feel like I should do swing trades, I'm going to do swing trades. Okay, it's not a difficult thing once you internalize it. Now that I've internalized it and I've stepped away and looked at my behavior and how I believe it's been changed by the fact that I have this channel. And somebody else had mentioned, I'm getting emotional. I'm really not, okay? I'm really not getting emotional. Losing, even if I was to go down another 20% and lose another couple $1,000s in the stock market, it's not going to hurt me, okay? It's not hurting me. All it's doing is preventing me from achieving the goals that I've made for myself. And, it's not going to make me go broke. So it's not that I'm being emotional. It's that I'm not being emotional. That's the whole point, is that I'm looking at it from a rational perspective on, and again, hindsight is 2020. It's easy for me to look back and see that I could have gotten out and been up way more. I was up 60-70% before all this happened. And now I'm at the point where if you factor in the cash account and the Roth IRA, I'm technically down. That's a lot of profit to lose trying to hang around and fall in love with these stocks. And if you go back and you watch my earlier video, you'll see how many times I said I don't fall in love with these fucking stocks. I don't fall in love with them. It goes down 10%, I'm selling it and moving on to something else. And it was my mistake not to do that. And somebody else had mentioned the time period when I rebalanced. I sold a bunch of stuff, and I went on Home Time and I bought 5 shares of Tesla right before all this stuff happened, right? And that, I did sell one of those shares at a loss. Still have 4 of the 5 shares. But that's not really what I'm referring to. That was a mistake, and I've realized that mistake. But there was, at that time, there was nothing I couldn't have known that it was going to do that. I had been waiting for it to fall down close to 800 to pick a share up, and I had just sold a bunch of stuff. And so when it dropped down around 800, I bought some. But after that, I pretty much liquidated everything. I was in SENS, I was in ZOM, I was in some other stuff, and I sold out of all that, and then I started repositioning, and I repositioned back into the spot that I'm at now and decided to hold, and that was a mistake, guys. And so all I can do is look back and see where I've made the mistakes, try to analyze what I could have done better. And the more I look at it, as I look back at it, what I could have done was stuck with my original fucking rules, you know what I mean, that I said I would stick with. And I said I would do this with these rules. I said if a stock drops 10%, I might let it go to 15. I'm going to sell it and move to something else. And I did not stick to that. And that was a mistake, guys. It was a mistake, and it's why I'm in the position I'm in right now. Because, like I said, I was up 60, 70% at one point doing it that way. And every time a stock would drop about 10%, I'd just go ahead and sell it, move on to something else, and make my little small stair steps and stair step in my account. And that's how I built it up to where it was. And looking at some of these stocks, there's opportunities for me to be stair stepping this account right now. And I'm not doing that, letting these fucking stocks, falling in love with these fucking stocks and letting them sit and lose me money. So, but see, now I've dug myself into this hole. Now I'm just barely technically in the red by a couple $100 if you factor in both accounts. So if I was to sell everything now, I'm basically starting over. You know what I mean? It's the way it is. Or I could take a chance and just let everything sit there and hope that it comes back enough over the next year to make up for me not doing swing trading. But I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. What I do know is that I see places that I could be still stair-stepping my account. And I'm seriously considering doing it. Now, will I sell everything? I don't know. I may, if I decide to do it, if I can catch a green enough day, I may sell everything and then buy back half of those positions when it comes back to these really low levels. And in the meantime, do some swing trading and maybe buy back half of those positions so that I have some money at least to continue swing trading. I've got to make some kind of move. I cannot continue. I'm the type of person that I'm not the type of investor who just sits on money for years. I'm the type of investor who wants to make moves to increase my account. And I'm not doing that right now. I'm not being true to myself and true to my own strategy. All right. And so I've got to do that. I've got to get to a place where I can start being true to myself and trading the way I've been trading that's been successful for me. And, I really believe that I was not successful because the market was acting crazy. I was successful because I identified stocks that were acting a certain way and capitalized on that. And I think that there are still stocks right now that are acting that way. And, I've watched T-Mobile just over the last week or so go up and down and up and down. Now in the pre-market today, it's up another fucking $5. There are still stocks out there that are behaving this way. And I feel like I'm missing out, falling in love with these fucking stocks and letting them sit there. And, as much as I feel like my subscribers are going to be like, oh, paper hands and blah, 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 and nothing against you guys. There are a lot of my subscribers that are still in Hyliion from fucking $40 and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I would, you know, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I would have never allowed myself to do that. I would have sold out of that stock in a heartbeat at a loss to make money somewhere else. And now, for some reason, I find myself in this group of people bag holding, you know what I mean, when I said I would never do that. And so I've got to reassess. I've got to figure out like what my strategy needs to be going forward. Was I doing it right before, or am I doing the right thing now? And just from an empirical standpoint of, you know, a scientific evidentiary standpoint, I'm losing money right now, and I was making money then. So obviously I was doing something then that was being successful, and now I'm not. I'm falling in love with these stocks is what it is. I'm falling in love with these stocks, holding them for too long in a bad situation and telling myself, oh, they're going to come back, and I still believe that they're going to come back, okay? But they're not going to come back fast enough, okay, for me to meet my goals. So we're going to see what happens going forward. Don't hate me for it, you know. I got to do what I got to do. It's my money. It's my future. I got to make moves for myself and not for you guys. And it just is what it is. And, you know, like I've always said, this channel is about my journey. It's about, you know, me learning about this stuff and figuring out how to capitalize on it no matter what's going on in the market. And I feel like I have not done that. And I'm going to put more effort into figuring out how to start increasing my account again. And it's coming. So just be prepared for it. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.